I have so much love for this franchise for so many different reasons. It's just so unapologetically fucking queer. I appreciate and respect Don Mancini so much for not only creating this horror icon, but letting it go places that allowed the queer audience to really connect with these characters. It's so wonderful to see.
What is your podcast about? Hanging out with your smartest and funniest friend. You know me. I'll kill anybody, but I'll only sleep with someone I love. Baby, she's a slut, just like her mother.
Hi there, cutie patooties, and welcome back to Horror Icon, your queer playground for all things scary, sexy, and stupid. I'm your host, Crybaby, the spooky slut from your wettest nightmare.
And I am Donnie Sanciato, the artistic director of Trans Voices Cabaret.
Yes, you are. Fuck yeah, Trans Voices Cabaret. Is there a date for the next one yet?
There is not. Oh, no, we're keeping you all in
Okay.
suspense.
I cannot wait. Cannot wait. Well, welcome back, everybody. Donnie and I totally are not recording this the same day that we recorded our Curse of Chucky episode.
What?
No.
Come on. That would never happen. My cat just happens to be in the same exact place.
Yeah, and I'm almost in the exact same makeup. I feel like I am channeling Ragamuffin Chucky a little bit right now,
Ragamuffin
but it's fine. Yes. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for being here. Don't forget to like and subscribe and do all that fun stuff to help us grow. We're about growth here.
Yes, please do
And
all those things.
and also it's a bittersweet episode. We're wrapping up our foray into the Chucky franchise for now.
Yes, I can't believe that we've finally gotten here.
I know, over a year later. Can you believe that, Donnie? We started this in May of last year.
Wow, that's nuts. Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole 13 months.
That absolutely is. Granted, I think the holidays just
Oh, yeah.
that doesn't count. I barely even remember that
There were
time.
holidays, there was an election, there were a whole bunch of things that.
A lot of things that I'd rather forget. But yeah, we're here. We're bringing it home. We're covering the final movie in the Chucky franchise, which is Cult of Chucky. There is a TV show that takes place after this. We don't have the time to go through all of that. Maybe one day in the future, I would love to be able to go through the TV show. But for now, this is where we're going to park it for Chucky. Donnie, I'm so happy to have you here for our final episode in this franchise. How are you feeling?
Feeling great. I'm glad to be here. Thank you so much for involving me in this amazing podcast, of course.
Of course. Like I said at the beginning, you were number one with a bullet for like guests that I was going to have on this show. So it's been wonderful having you. Let's not get too wrapped up in the pleasantries and the goodbyes because we have a whole ass movie to talk about today. Cult of Chucky. Cult of Chucky. Cult of Chucky.
Cult of Chucky.
I am dressed as if I am in the Cult of Chucky. I love cults. Like I don't want to be in one, but I find cults so fascinating.
They are fast.
The connotation of Cult of Chucky already has my interest peaked a little bit extra. It's an interesting one. It's a very interesting one.
Yes, it is a very interesting.
So, needless to say, everybody, of course, spoiler warning. If you haven't seen it, watch it and then come back to us, please, because we don't go as in depth as we used to. We don't go like beat by beat. We kind of more of a broad stroke kind of thing.
Yes.
So, if you want all the dirty deets, go watch the movie and then come back to us.
Absolutely.
Okay, we're here for the gay shit.
Yeah, we're here for the gay shit.
To kick it off, of course, I do have the Crybaby synopses, the Crybaby breakdown. Oh, that's what I'm going to start calling it, the Crybaby breakdown.
Oh, there you go. That's awesome.
Yeah, we have the Crybaby breakdown for Cult of Chucky. Have you ever wanted to be completely confused and aroused? Well, throw on your comfiest sweater and join us in supporting our girl Nika as she navigates one of the most sterile, snowy, fucked up asylums this side of Hackensack, New Jersey. It's been 4 years since Curse, and Nika's been put through it. Intense therapy, gaslighting, and electroshock therapy. And now that she's quote-unquote improved, her fuck-ass doctor decides it's time to transfer her to a lower security mental institution, a move that unfortunately opens up a whole can of Chuckies. Not one, but two good guy dolls arrive to raise some hell and murder inmates and staff alike. Lots of people die, all while we have no idea what the fuck is happening and what the fuck Chucky wants. All the while, Tiffany Valentine is just floating around serving high femme chaos, and former cutie patootie Andy Barclay makes his emotionally unstable return, armed, unhinged, and ready to kick some Chucky ass. It's a movie bonkers enough to make you question your own sanity and make you wonder what the hell is going to happen next.
That's a beautiful breakdown. What the hell is going to happen
Yeah,
next?
what the hell is going to happen next? This film is it is a wild ride. A wild fucking ride.
And it's such a departure from the rest of the series. It's similar to Curse, but boy, is it different.
It's very different, and this is also directed by Don Mancini. Don's directed everyone since Seed of Chucky, which is great because it's really interesting to see how different each of these movies are because they are so different from each other, and to see that they were directed by the same person, I find to be quite fascinating.
That's very true.
And to bitch the pot, this idea of multiple Chuckies is something that he wanted to do in Child's Play 3. And I can't remember if we talked about it in our Child's Play 3 episode or not, but it makes sense that that's the movie where he first got the idea for multiple Chuckies, because the way Chucky gets brought back to life in Child's Play 3 is his blood in the plastic, in this huge vat of plastic. So you would think if it's his blood that's what brings these dolls to life, then wouldn't every doll that was made with that plastic be a form of Chucky?
Good thinking.
But they didn't have the budget for that in the early 90s. So they threw that idea on the shelf, and that's how we ended up here with Cult of Chucky, multiple ass Chuckies.
I'm glad he finally got the opportunity to do it because it's pretty damn cool.
I think it's pretty damn cool too. And it's great because, again, he keeps you guessing. Like, I think Seed is when we started to get unhinged. And then I feel like Curse kind of reined it back in. And then Cult is just like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's go completely off the rails. And it's a nonstop crazy train after this movie, just doing the most, which I fucking love. It premiered in 2017 in the London Fright Fest Film Festival.
Oh,
Jesus.
that's a mouthful.
Yeah. So this one, it didn't have a full theatrical debut. The last one that had one was Seed of Chucky, but it did make an appearance in a festival, and then it went straight to video that October. I didn't know this. Apparently, the film was leaked 2 weeks before its release.
That sounds vaguely familiar. But
Really?
yeah, it does sound familiar now that you've said it, but I don't recall any of the details.
I didn't get any of the details either. I just saw that it had been leaked. Listen, everybody, leaking movies, not cool. You know, it's one thing if it's, God, I don't even know if I should say this because their lawyers are going to come after me.
That's right.
There's a certain company that gets a little sue happy that owns pretty much everything. Leaking their movies, I don't care. But if it's like independent queer filmmakers, let them have their moment.
Yeah, don't
Come
leak
on.
those.
Don't-
Come on, be cool.
Don't be let's see. So Jennifer Tilly, she shot all of her scenes in this in 6 days.
In 6 days. Ah,
And this is when we start to get, Don Mancini does this a lot, where he will recycle actors. You see it a lot more on the TV show, but he, with this movie, starts to bring back actors. For example, Officer Stanton, the police officer from Curse of Chucky, he is in this film as multiple Malcolm. He's one of the side characters.
I did not notice that. And I just watched those two movies back to back. Didn't notice.
Yep, they're the same. I mean, he looks completely different though. I will give them that credit. And then the actor that plays Dr. Foley in this movie goes on to play a different role in the Chucky TV series. So this is where that loyalty, bringing people back to do different things, starts to manifest itself. And we see them use the fuck out of that with Devon Sawa in the TV series.
We certainly do.
I feel like every season Don's just like, what fucked up way can I kill Devon Sawa this time?
That is
Like,
probably
what can I do?
things. Yeah.
I get it though. So apparently the original version of this movie didn't have any scenes between Jennifer Tilly and Alex Vincent, Andy Barclay and Tiffany Valentine. But I guess fans were so excited about the possibility of there being interaction between them, they went ahead and wrote a scene for them to be able to talk and communicate. So I think that's pretty cool.
That is really cool. It's such a meshing of the Chucky movies. The Child's Play and
Yeah.
the Chucky.
Exactly, and I think it's the kind of exciting thing that happens that you don't necessarily I don't necessarily think about. I wouldn't think about Andy Barclay interacting with Tiffany Valentine, but seeing it happen would make me so happy and so excited. So I'm glad that he did that. All right, so let's go through the characters on this. There's quite a few. I only listed out the ones that kind of matter. Of course, we have Andy Barclay returning naturally. Nika Pierce is returning as well. Nika from last time. Tiffany Valentine. We have Dr. Foley, who is Nika's therapist and psychiatrist, that fuck ass motherfucker.
Seriously.
We have multiple Malcolm. We have Angela, Claire, and Madeline. So those four are all also inmates in this institution. And then we have the two nurses, Carlos and Nurse Ashley. They're like the orderlies of the place. And then we have Chucky,
Chucky.
parenthetical S on that one. Those are all of the babes we have in this movie. And this one's going to be a doozy. So I think we should just hop right on in, shall we?
Give it a go.
Let's give it a go. The first thing we see is we get to see what life is like for Andy Barclay, which I like that they brought Alex Vincent back so that way we can see how Andy turned out after all the bullshit that he went through throughout the Chucky series.
Yeah, absolutely. And we get to see it on the
Mhm.
same person, the same actor wearing
Mhm.
all, which is really cool.
Exactly. It's great to see Alex Vincent back. He's on a date, and apparently this date Googled him and she saw like all the crazy shit that he was doing. So his dating life isn't going well. But it's okay because if you remember from the last movie, we had that post-credit sequence where Chucky showed up at Andy's doorstep. He's keeping Chucky's head as a pet.
Yes.
So he has Chucky to come home to.
He's got
Chucky's always going to be there.
keeping his head alive in a
Mhm.
safe, so he's got somebody to talk to, which is just such a fucked up thing for a victim to do. Like his life was so
Mhm.
dependent upon Chucky and connected to Chucky that he can't separate himself from his torment.
Yeah, Chucky is always going to be there. Always. Whether it be like actually or metaphorically, he's just not going to be able to escape him. So there is a sadness to it. But there is also kind of like there's a hope to it of just like confronting it, you know. He smokes weed with this Chucky head,
Yes, he does.
which I find weird. It's almost a little bromantic.
It is they have this codependent, unhealthy relationship. You know, that he holds the little joint up to Chucky's face so that Chucky can take a hit. It's just like, you're right, there's a bromance.
Yeah, but there's also some of that fucked up stuff because Andy is torturing this head because Chucky pissed him off. Chucky read him for filth. He called it like it is. He's like, you're never going to escape me, all that shit. Your dates are never going to go well. And so Andy fucking gets a blowtorch and takes it to Chucky's face.
Andy's a little fucked up.
Like I said, emotionally unstable and ready to kick some Chucky ass. So after we get that little catch up with Andy, we get to move back to Nika, to Fiona Dourif, reprising her role as Nika Pierce. And oh god, it sucks because I think the first time we see her in this movie is when she's getting electroshock therapy.
I believe that is true. Yeah, she's on the table.
Yeah, it's quite unfortunate, but her fuck ass doctor decides that she's improving. And I can't tell because he's like questioning her and everything. And I can't tell if she genuinely believes that she did it and she's just projecting that it's Chucky, or if she's just playing the game because she knows that's what she has to do in order to not get treated like shit in this institution. What do you think?
I think that she wants to believe that it was Chucky, but doesn't necessarily actually believe that, but she's trying to convince herself because that's what she's been told for 4 years.
That's true. And they do some hypnosis and stuff like that too. So either way, she says all the right things and Dr. Foley decides to move her to this very bright, white, sterile fucking institution. It's so cold and harsh.
Yeah, I find it difficult to look at.
Yeah, and I think I do like that. It's very uncomfortable. It's very unwelcoming. It's very confusing. It's also like you can't make heads or tails of where you're at in this space, which is also something else that I like. There's no there's like one or two defined set pieces, but there's no like set environment that they're working in. It all just feels so nebulous and ambiguous.
Yes, that's exactly what it feels like. It's enough when you're
Mhm.
looking at it, it makes you feel like you're losing your mind.
Yes, very much. This whole movie, I feel like I'm losing my mind. I'm not gonna lie. But we do get to meet one of the nurses, Carlos, and Carlos is a queer character. Did you catch
I
that?
did catch that. He references his boyfriend or his partner. I think his boyfriend.
It's his
Oh, his
husband.
husband.
Yeah, we have a gay married nurse. And I just have to say, I love how we still get to have queer characters in this movie, but now their plot line isn't about them being queer. He is a nurse, he's an orderly, he gives Nika her sticks of gum or whatever, and he just happens to have a husband. Like the conversations that let us know that he's gay, they happen in the background. So I appreciate that. I like that it's not a plot point, it just is. And that's what I want. I don't know if that's what you want. That's what I
No,
want.
no, I want to see more queer characters that are just queer, not there because they're queer necessarily, but just happen to be queer.
Yeah, exactly. And then we get you're right. The whole plot of this movie is a cloud. It's like Seed of Chucky all over again, but on
Yes, but on
steroids. Where
steroids.
it's wild. So everybody who's following along with us, again, I hope you watched the movie because this is not going to be a reliable source for a play-by-play
No.
and for specifics because it's very cloudy. And I just watched
So
this
did
too.
I. I watched it a couple days.
Yeah, let's see. So we get our character exposition dumps, like your mental institution archetypes. They all have like their thing. This one woman is like, "Can you see me?" She's schizophrenic or whatever. Yeah, just the setup for all of the meatbags that are going to get killed later.
That's a good way of putting it. That's exactly what it is.
But we do meet, he introduces himself at this point as Michael. And Nika and him chatted up. They get flirty and they get it on.
Yeah, they immediately get it.
They fuck in the stairwell, and I'm like, good for her. Get it, Nika.
Get it. She deserves it.
And honestly, I mean, he's kind of a cutie.
Mhm.
Not like 100% my type, but I get it.
Yeah, he's a good-looking guy.
You know? And he's not afraid of her, which I think is a big thing because all of the other inmates are afraid of her. They think that she's dangerous. They think that she's going to kill them. He doesn't think that way. He goes back and forth on like, yeah, it actually was Chucky. But I like that. I like that initially Nika seems to have an ally.
At first.
So as Nika's getting settled into this new space, of course, a good guy doll shows up and just he starts wreaking havoc. He's sending messages through Angie, the one who's like schizophrenic, and one of the inmates adopts Chucky as her baby.
She treats him like it's her
Um,
baby.
yeah, I think her name is Madeline. She's like, "Oh my god, he's my baby," and she instantly latches onto him. And then we also find out that Michael has multiple personalities and he's called multiple Malcolm. But then after we get all of this learning and exposition, Chucky lands here. Tiffany shows up looking fabulous.
She does look so good.
Hmm.
As if she couldn't look good.
I noticed like color story wise in this, like it's so sterile and white, but they use the color red for Chucky and Tiffany. Tiffany's wearing a red coat, and then we'll see red later on. But she looks so vibrant and out of place in this crazy kooky space.
Absolutely. It's just another piece of Don Mancini's genius to see the juxtaposition between the way that the previous movie's color palette was with this.
Exactly. We went from like dark and dreary to like cold and clinical, and then just pops of vibrant color. I'm just like, these are the exciting people in this movie. And Tiffany shows up because she's playing as Alice's legal guardian. And she tells Nika that Alice is dead. She tells Nika that she died from a broken heart, which is so manipulative. And then after Tiffany visits, we get the double Chucky. And this is where I started to get confused.
I'm already confused.
And we don't know, as far as we know, only one of them is Chucky. Only one of them is the real Chucky.
Right.
And the other's a decoy or something.
And the other's like your average good guy doll.
We finally get to see Chucky in action after Tiffany visits. And he goes to a drawer behind Carlos that's labeled sharps. And he pulls a scalpel out and he's going to find Nika. And he even asks one of the inmates, Angie, he's like, "Where's Nika?" And she just straight up tells him.
Thanks, Angie.
And then he goes in and he finds that Nika beat him to the punch. She broke a spoke off of her wheelchair and tried to end it. Supposedly because she was so upset about Alice having died. That's my take on
That's
it.
what I assumed as she just didn't want to be in the world anymore because of what happened to Alice.
Yes. But Chucky said, no, 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 no. None of that. He I guess, is a doctor because he stitches her back up.
Stitches her up. Yep.
Not tonight.
Right. Pretty much.
Like, not so fast. Don't even think about it. And then instead of killing Nika, Chucky goes to kill Angie, the one that told him where Nika was.
He's just wreaking havoc.
Mhm.
Killing for killing's.
Killing for killing's sake. Obviously, he just likes fucking with people. Obviously, he's trying to make Nika seem crazier than she actually is, and it's all the Chucky games. It's the shit that Chucky likes to do. But then Andy shows up. He has Chucky's head, the head that he was torturing earlier, and he's trying to show Dr. Foley like, "Yo, this is real. Like Chucky's actually a real live thing," and Dr. Foley thinks it's just visual effects.
Very
So
impressive
dismissive.
visual effects. But yeah, he doesn't buy what Andy's selling.
And this is just a whole, I mean, it makes sense. They're in an institution where everyone's sanity is being questioned, and just the biggest conversation for these people is whether or not this doll is actually alive, even when presented with some proof that it may be alive. And it gets to the point where Nika forces the doctor to hold a lighter underneath one of Chucky's hands, and it like melts the fuck down. And when that doll doesn't react, she's like, okay, well, then it must be the other one. And it is very confusing. Because let's see, Madeline takes Chucky outside, and then Madeline takes one of the dolls outside, and then multiple Malcolm goes after her because Nika wants to keep an eye on the doll because she thinks that one's the real one. And then they both end up in a grave, and then they climb out, and then we're led to believe that Malcolm is also possessed by Chucky in like this Steven Soderbergh looking ass editing sequence with different frames coming in and out of the screen. You remember what I'm saying? You remember
I
that?
remember that. And he gives Nika this scary, sketchy smile. So we're like, oh, something has happened. Chucky split his soul or something, and now he's in Malcolm.
Well, and it doesn't help that later on he is saying, "Oh, my name's Charles. My name's Charles," as if he's been possessed by Chucky. And it's just there's such a tangled web of chaos being woven right now, and the audience is left wondering what the fuck is happening. What was going through your mind at this point in the movie?
It was just, I was probably thinking about the quality of the movie, the way that it was being made, and how different it was from everything else, because it was difficult to follow, to be honest with you. And I had a hard time like sitting through it without getting lost, so I was having trouble staying focused.
Yeah, I think this movie is very much, it's a lot of style with minimal and specific substance. Because even talking through it, I'm just like, God, what the fuck
What
is
happened
next?
next? Everything looks the same, and there were multiple Chuckies, which was going to throw you off. But there are definitely parts of the movie that stand out to me that I can't forget. But so much of it was mushed together. You said something about a tangled web of chaos, and yes, that's what it feels like.
Yeah, and so much so where it's like there's multiple Chuckies, and I don't remember which one is which during this part. Like there's the one that's in the grave, there's the one that's with this person, and like they both seem to be acting independently. So it's very confusing. I think it's meant to be confusing. I don't know if it's meant to be as confusing as it
Right.
is, but the next big moment that I can think of is what happens with Claire when she's like strapped to the bed. Do you remember that one?
No, you got to give me more than that.
Oh, when the decapitation.
When she's strapped to the stretcher, it looks like a gurney to me, but I guess it's
She's strapped to something, to a table, to a gurney. I think like that's the next big moment in all of this chaos.
this death is very reminiscent of a death in Bride of Chucky.
Yeah, very much so. The honeymooners,
The honeymooners.
the swingers.
Yes, the swingers.
Yeah,
With the mirror in the ceiling at the hotel or the motel.
it's very visually beautiful.
Mhm.
This is one of those where I'm like, the style is really showing. It's like the slow mo with the glass falling. It's stunning, I think. How do you feel about it?
I think it's, like you said, it's beautiful to look at. Stylistically, it's beautiful. And it's a cool death.
Mhm.
Can I remember every second of it? No, I can't. Because so much of it was just convoluted to me.
It is. It's all for me, there's the beats. There's, Chucky in the grave, and we think Malcolm is possessed. And then Claire gets decapitated because of I think it was like a compressed air that Chucky shoots into the window that's above her. There's also a lot of snow in this movie.
Yes.
So much
It's
snow.
all very white and sterile, harshly lit.
It is very harshly lit. And also I think like it's not a safe space because there's also, now I'm remembering, there's moments with Dr. Foley, with that fuck ass doctor, where he hypnotizes Nika, he like puts her under and then he sexually assaults
Oh
her.
yeah, this
Like,
is something I can't
trigger
forget.
warning, everybody.
Absolutely, a big trigger warning for this. He puts her under and then does sexually assault her. We're led to believe that she knows it's going to happen, which is it's just horrific. So here's this man abusing his power and abusing his patience, and all you can do is hope that he gets it really good in the end.
Honestly, because he even says, he's like, "Oh, I missed our little sessions, blah, 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 blah. Fuck this guy. Fuck Dr. Foley. Fuck him good and well." And so much so that, because like the first time we see them do the hypno thing, Chucky knocks him out.
Yeah,
And he's just like, what the fuck is wrong with this guy?
yeah. Even Chucky thinks that this is not cool. And he's right.
And he's right. So this is okay. This is something that Chucky is doing in this movie that we see a lot more in this series, where he's trying to convince somebody else to kill somebody. Because he's trying to get Nika to kill the doctor. Okay, so I'm not gonna be too attached to this. So we get the phone call with Tiffany and Andy, which is cute. It's a little bit of a nothing burger, but it's just nice to see them interact with each other.
Yes, that fun crossover of worlds.
Yeah, especially with just like Jennifer Tilly just being so playful and menacing, and it's just so cute and fun.
A nothing burger.
Um,
I like that. I'm gonna
yeah,
yeah. It's a nothing burger.
let's see what else happens. Oh, so Madeline, the one that thought that Chucky was her baby, she suffocates the Chucky doll, and we find out that she killed her baby. And so they bury the Chucky doll, and this is the doll that turns into Ragamuffin Chucky, which is
Ragamuffin
very
Chuck.
much emulating right now. Just a hot fucking mess. And then, okay, so much happens.
Yeah.
So there's Ragamuffin Chucky, he gets buried. Another third Chucky doll gets mailed to the institution by Andy, Buzzcut Chucky.
Buzzcut Chuck.
Buzzcut Chucky.
He looks exactly like
And
this kid I went to school with in elementary school.
Oh my god,
Yeah,
really?
John Cleary, if you're watching this, you buddy.
Hi, John.
Mm.
That's wild. Yeah, Buzzcut Chucky has a very distinct look. This is where it's like it's fun to see the different Chucky variations, because that's something that they definitely explore later on in the series as well. But we start to see the different variants of Chucky, and it's fun. It's fun to see Buzzcut Chucky come to. Chucky ends up bringing him to life.
Of course. I feel like this is going to be a very quick episode.
I think so too. Okay, so Buzzcut Chucky gets sent by Andy, and then Andy is trying to get in, so he punches a security card to get into the institution. And then Ragamuffin Chucky kills Madeline in a really weird way, because she's down for it. It's like a Dr. Kevorkian kind of thing, where she is signing the contract to die, and she gives Chucky permission to kill her. And so he like sticks his whole arm into her mouth and down her throat. And what does he rip out? He like her tongue, her trachea, like he rips something
He rips
out,
something
right?
out of her, but I don't remember that it's like a specific thing that we can recognize.
It's just like a silhouette of just like dangling
Yeah.
flesh. It's really gross. The nurses find her because she's on suicide watch. So they check on her every like 15 minutes or so. When they find her, Ragamuffin Chucky's arm is ripped off of his body and it's like down her throat. And they're just like, oh, she must have committed suicide. And I'm
Right.
like, in what world is that the way that somebody like, how is that possible? Do you,
No, first of
is it
all,
possible?
who chooses that? And secondly, it's not possible. It's not, I don't know. I guess anything is possible if you try hard enough, but my first thought would not be suicide. Of course, nobody
No,
else
not
can
at
get
all.
in or out of her room. How else did she die if not suicide? But still, who,
I guess.
you know,
It's wild. If I saw that, if I walked into the room of somebody who was supposed to be alone and unreachable and saw that, my first thought wouldn't be suicide. My first thought would be, how did somebody else get into this room and kill her?
yeah, I think that's what I would think as well. My follow-up thought would be, well, I'm leaving. This has been fun. Thanks for the time.
Yeah, and this is what causes the other nurse, Nurse Ashley, to quit. She's like, fuck this, doc, I'm done. I'm out of here. And then Dr. Foley, that fuck ass, comes back to hypnotize Nika again. But this time, Chucky knocks Dr. Foley out again. And let's see. This is when he brings Buzz Chucky back to life. One thing that I really do like about the multiple Chuckies is we constantly sing Brad Dourif's praises on this show. But he was very intentional with how he voiced each one of those Chuckies. And the newer Chuckies, he voiced at a little bit of a higher pitch to give them more of a youthful, young kind of vibe, which I think is just really smart as a voice actor. So fucking smart.
Yeah, he's a talented guy. And it's cool because even though it's confusing in a sense to have these multiple Chuckies, they're all very distinct. They all have their distinct looks. And once you've seen them all, especially together, you can't get them confused. But it was confusing to begin with.
It's, yes, very much so. Okay, so fuck ass doctor gets Nika, hypnotizes her again. He got her some red shoes.
Yes, these
Red.
red comes back.
Yep, the red wedge shoes, because I guess he has like a foot fetish or something. He's trying to get a book deal off of her. It's like he's just a really disgusting fucking person. So when Chucky knocks him out again, it's wonderful. I'm just like, yes, please, again. But this time, let's see. Oh, this is when Chucky lets us know what the fuck is going on. And it turns out he found a deviation of the Damballa spell on voodoo4dummies.com.
Of course, bringing that back.
And this is what allowed him to access multiple Chuckies. He also did this with Alice. We find out that he successfully possessed Alice like we thought. And she didn't die of a broken heart. She died because she got overpowered when he was trying to kill somebody. And then the multi-Chuckies kill Carlos.
Bye, Carlos.
And they have a great time with it. Yeah.
Yeah. He happy to see a gay character, but he didn't make it.
He did not make it. And then I don't remember how this happens specifically, but basically the big moment of this movie, Chucky ends up possessing Nika. He puts a piece of himself into Nika and suddenly she can walk.
Yes.
Power of voodoo, yeah.
This is when she stands up.
And we finally get a satisfying ending to Dr. Foley's fuckassery.
I just remember her smashing his face with those red wedges.
Yes. She stomps the fuck. Or I guess we'll say Chucky stomps the fuck
That's right.
out of this doctor's face. Because it is no longer Nika, we are now Chucky. And I just have to say, the way Fiona Dourif plays Nika possessed by Chucky,
So
it's so hot.
yes.
I'm
Yes.
so attracted to her. It's insane. I don't know how to explain it.
Her whole face changes. She's a chameleon. She just completely changes. And the way she talks, it's so cool again to bring up the fact that she's the daughter of Brad Dourif because she is imitating her father playing this character that she basically grew up with watching him play. So she's got a pretty good grasp, which is she had a jump on the competition there. But the way that she changes her face, her movements, voice, oh, she's just so good at it. She just absolutely convinces you 100% that she has become him.
Yes, it is incredible. And it's also really fun to see throughout the series. Like, I feel like similar to how we said Don Mancini just is like, how can I kill Devon Sawa this season? I feel like he also goes into a season just like, how can I just like fuck with Fiona Dourif's mind? Because like we have her playing Nika. We have her playing Nika possessed by Chucky. We have her playing Nika pretending to be possessed by Chucky at some point.
Right.
And then we have her being possessed by Chucky, but trying to pretend that she's not possessed by Chucky. Like there's so much, like she acting gymnastics, and every single one of those performances has different flavor and different nuance to it. And this is just the beginning. And again, it's so hot.
It is hot. It is insanely hot. This woman is basically pretending to be her father, and holy shit, is it sexy.
Yeah, and she has those red shoes. She has a red scarf now. She has a new swag. I love Nika as a character, but Nika possessed by Chucky is probably like one of my favorites.
Oh yeah, it's got to be like my second favorite. With Jennifer Tilly being first, and then hot Nika right afterwards.
Hot Nika, yes. So yeah, that happens, and all the while Andy gets locked into this institution because he was trying to help, but he ended up not really doing
Yeah,
anything. At that
emotions.
point, yeah, because by the time he was able to do anything, Nika was already possessed by Chucky, and so he couldn't kill her.
Right.
So he's just kind of like stuck in limbo at this point. And then as Chucky Nika leaves, we run into multiple Malcolm and we find out that he was just pretending to be possessed by Chucky. He was never actually possessed by Chucky. And he ends up getting killed by Chucky with a drill to the back of the head. It's quite
Yeah,
gross.
it's a good one.
Oh, also, like Nurse Ashley got killed off camera too. She got a drill to the stomach.
Oh yeah,
And that's where the drill came
we
from.
don't see it.
We don't. We see her body. That's it. And then Nika just walks on out and hops into a car with Jennifer Tilly. They make out.
Oh, they make shush.
Do they make
Not
out?
to
How?
whew, not to be that guy, not to be that guy, but I'm gonna. When Nika walks over to Jennifer Tilly, I don't even know if they say anything first, but they kiss, and I was like, okay, if I were a less strong man than I am, I would rewind that and watch it again because that was hot.
You should have.
I really should.
It is like the two. I agree with you. The two hottest people in this entire franchise, and they're together now, and it's so good. All we need is Kyle to bring
That's
it
what I was
home.
thinking. We just need Kyle. And when they kiss, they have that little exchange where Chucky's like, "This is different."
Yes, it is. And Jennifer Tilly or Tiffany's just like, I can get used to
Yeah,
it.
she's down with it.
And they drive off into the not sunset with Tiffany doll laughing in the back. The biggest cliffhanger of all of the Chucky movies. We go straight into the TV series after that. So it's, again, like I said earlier, it's like there's so many weaving storylines, like it's becoming a TV show. It felt like a season finale.
It does
kind
feel
of.
like a season finale. It didn't feel like a movie finale. It didn't feel like the final movie because there is that big cliffhanger and I don't know, it just didn't feel final to me. But it does feel like
Mhm.
the episode that happens before the first episode of the season, if that makes sense.
Exactly. Previously on Chucky.
Exactly.
Like, before I get even further, there's a post-credit sequence in this one. Speaking of Kyle,
Yes, speaking of Kyle, we just needed Kyle to make this even hotter.
yep, and we get that post-credit sequence where Kyle goes to Andy's place, and I guess she buys in on torturing Chucky too.
Yeah, I mean, everybody's got a lot of pent up rage at this guy.
That's very true. I mean, he ruined their lives, so
Yes.
I get it.
I would be
I
pretty
100%
pissed off
get
too.
it. But yeah, that's Curse of Chucky, everybody. I know we didn't go super into detail on it, but that's because it's a hard to explain and walk through movie.
You need to watch
You
it.
have to watch it.
Just watch it and
Um,
you'll be like, ah, yes,
Yeah.
this is exactly what they're saying.
I wonder if at this point Dawn was already planning for Chucky to be a TV series, and if this movie was meant to either A, be the start of that, or B, set that. Again, it doesn't feel like a movie. It feels like a TV series.
Yeah, it feels more like you're watching a long episode of a show.
Yeah, so you've already explained, but I'm gonna have you do it again. Thoughts, Donnie?
My
Thoughts on
thoughts.
Cult of Chucky?
Oh, I like it because I like following the Nika Pierce story and finding out what's happening with her. I found her to be such a captivating character that I'm glad to see the next step in her journey. That being said, overall, I don't particularly care for the movie. I
Mhm.
think it's one of the weaker films in the series. And with the third one is still my least favorite in the series. I think this one is probably my second to last favorite in the series. It just doesn't do it for me. And I don't know why. I don't know if there's something that makes me uncomfortable about the setting, whether it be the sterility and the fluorescent lights and everything. Maybe that bothers me, or just the idea of being in an insane asylum, or whatever kind of asylum they call it, bothers me. But I found it difficult to watch tonally. And then it was difficult to watch because it was confusing. And then I just found it dull.
Yeah, I don't think I dislike it as much as you do. I mean, like I said with Child's Play 3, there's not a movie in this franchise that I don't like.
Right.
I think for me, what it comes down to is there's a lot of style and it's confusing. I think it's a bit too long. I think they could probably shave a little bit of time off of it. It feels very mid. The institution thing, I'm with you there. I remember in the first episode when we talked about Child's Play, one of the things that you said was scary for you was that idea of being locked away
Mm.
and not being listened to. And that idea was taken and a whole ass movie was built on it.
Yes.
And I think especially as queer people, it's very uncomfortable because of the terrible conversation around queerness and it being a mental illness.
Right.
It's just one of those things where it's like I'd rather not confront that right now.
There's just something that makes me uncomfortable. And I can't believe that you remember that I said that in the first episode. But yeah, something about being locked away and nobody taking you seriously, and you know that this thing is right, but everybody's telling you it's wrong. I have a visceral reaction, and maybe that's a good thing. Maybe the movie was supposed to make me feel that. That makes it a good movie. I don't know, but there was just something about it that makes me uncomfortable.
Yes. And if you stack on just the corrupt fuck off doctor on top of all of that, it's hard to get through. I'm with you there. So
And then there's the stereotypes of the patients with their mental illnesses that are very one note. They're people. They're not their illness. They're human beings, and they're treated more like their illness in the movie, which is just another hope Hollywood stops doing that. But I don't see it stopping anytime soon.
yes, I feel like I wrote something in my notes like very similar to that. Let me see. Oh yeah, I just wrote down heightened character intros mental institution archetypes.
Exactly.
Yeah. It's all there's not much depth to it, It's just kind of like here's all the loonies in the loony bin. Like, yeah, it's very shallow. Very much similar to like the voodoo situation and the wheelchair thing. There's just like, sometimes they
Mhm.
just miss the mark and that's a big glaring one that's very difficult to overlook when the whole premise of the movie is based off of that.
Yeah.
Beautiful. So I asked the audience for some input, a little polly poll on the Instagram, and I asked what people's favorite Chucky variant was. And there were four options. We had the OG Chucky, Buzzcut Chucky, Ragamuffin Chucky, and then Nika possessed by Chucky. In last place was Buzzcut Chucky, which I found surprising. I thought Buzzcut Chucky would have been a little bit higher up on that. I'm not going to lie.
Did you really?
Yeah, because Buzzcut Chucky at least has like some physical personality to him, something notable. So yeah, I guess I expected classic Chucky to be in last place because classic Chucky is the Chucky that we all know and love. Classic Chucky isn't the new Chucky. I thought newer Chuckies would have been gotten more attention, but I guess not. Because Buzzcut Chucky came in last place with 7% of the votes. And then Ragamuffin Chucky was second to last place with 22% of the votes. And then in second place was Classic Chucky with 27% of the votes. And then the big time winner, no surprise, Nika possessed by Chucky is our winner with 53% of the votes. Yeah,
53% of the votes. It's the
53%.
truth.
It is the
Mhm.
truth.
Once it comes down to Nika being possessed, she takes it.
There's no denying it. There's no denying it all. That's Cult of Chucky, everybody. There's some queerness to it. Nothing that hasn't really been touched on before on this franchise. So the only thing is, like I mentioned earlier, we have a gay character it's not his old personality type to be gay, which was nice. But beyond that, it's a movie set in an insane asylum, very sterile. And, if anything, it's just a good springboard to get into the Chucky TV series. And I don't know about you, Donnie. I highly recommend watching the TV series.
It is so fucking good. It is so good. Please watch it. You'll be glad you did.
You'll be glad you did. I'm so sad that it got canceled.
After the fourth season or right before the fourth season?
It was after the third season. And
After
again,
the third season.
we had a cliffhanger too, which is
Okay.
it's wild. It's so good. The first season is like probably the most vanilla, where it's like the group of kids in like this suburban town or whatever. And then we end up in like a Catholic school, and then somehow we end up in the White House. Like
In the
ghost
White
thing.
House, yeah. Yeah,
It goes
it's
places.
super fun.
Yes. So with Cult of Chucky, I forgot to ask, do you have there I cannot ask about a favorite set piece because there's just not really a definable set piece. So do you have a favorite kill?
I do, and it's when Nika face stomps the doctor. And it's satisfying physically, viscerally, and emotionally.
Yes. I co-sign that. I will second that. Yes. It is fuck that guy.
Yeah,
Fuck
exactly.
that
Fuck
guy.
that.
Yeah, mine is very much the same. I will give an honorable mention to Claire, the one who gets decapitated from the falling glass. Even though we did see something like that in Bride of Chucky, there's just something about the way that that one was shot that I really am taken by. I thought it was kind of beautiful, especially with like a single tear running down her face because she's sedated when this happens. Everybody, she's watching it happen, but she can't move. So like watching that single tear fall down her eye because she knows what's gonna happen. It's sad, but Dr. Foley is number one for sure. Fuck that guy.
Fuck that.
Fuck that guy. And with that, that's also we're wrapping up the whole Chucky franchise, Donnie. We're done.
Wow, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. What a journey it's been. What a
Seriously.
journey. Just off the top of my head, thinking about the franchise as a whole, let's I'm curious to know what your ranking is of all 6 of these movies. Like which ones from your least favorite to your most favorite?
Hmm. Let's see. I'm going to indulge myself here.
Do it.
I'll say that my most favorite is Bride of Chucky, followed by Seed of Chucky, followed by Child's Play 1 and 2, followed by Curse of Chucky.
Mhm.
And then now that I'm thinking, well, I'm still going to say, okay, I'll say Cult of Chucky is next with Child's Play 3 in last place. They switch back and forth, but the thing that keeps Curse of Chucky a little bit ahead is Nika.
Yes, I'll agree with you there.
I'm sorry, Cult of Chucky.
Agreed. Yes. Let me think. Mine, Child's Play 3 is in last place for me too. And then I would also have to agree that Cult is the next one. And then probably Curse. And then Seed of Chucky. And then my top 3 are going to be in third place, probably. Oh, it's so tough. It's so tough.
It's hard.
It's tough. I'll have to say Child's Play 2 is going to be in third place. And then Child's Play 1, and then Bride of Chucky.
Oh, so Bride of Chucky is...
No, actually, you know what? I'm going to take that back because I fucking hate the whole Jesse and Jade thing. I have to
I
put
was
Bride
going
of
to say,
Chucky.
yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to rewind. So my top 3, Bride of Chucky's going to have to be in third place because of Jesse and Jade. I can't stand those fuckers. As much as I appreciate Bride of Chucky for everything it did for the franchise, love Jennifer Tilly, I love a lot of the style, but it just... I can't get over Jesse and Jade. So that's third place. And then second place, this might be controversial. Second place for me is going to be the original Child's Play. And then first place is going to be Child's Play 2. I really like Child's Play 2.
Great.
I love the style. I love the introduction of Kyle. I love the final set piece. I think it's great. So that's my ranking of the Child's Play franchise.
It's tough. It's tough. And it just depends on the day, too. Some days I just really want to watch Seed of Chucky. You know, it just depends on which, because they're all so different. The first 3, then the next 2, then the final 2. Just what are you in the mood for that day? Do you want something that's dark and moody, or do you want something that's campy and gay?
Exactly. And that's what I love about the franchise, though. It has everything. You can always visit it no matter what mood you're in. It's a buffet.
It is a buffet.
Yeah. Did you have any... This is going to be tough, so take all the time you want. But I'm just curious to know your top... Do you want to do top 5 or top 3 kills of the whole franchise?
Let's do top 3 because 5 is just too much.
That's a lot, yeah. So give me your top 3 kills of the entire franchise.
Of the entire franchise. Hold on while I go through every death.
Just the Rolodex.
Yep, in every movie.
Well, the good thing is, if it's memorable, then that right there.
Right.
Yeah, I'm thinking of mine too.
Okay.
Go for it.
Okay. I've got 2. I really like Jennifer Tilly in the bathtub with the television because it's just shot so cool. She knocks it out of the park, and it's just campy enough that it cracks me up. So I don't know that that's number one, but it's in my top.
Okay.
Also, really like John Waters' death in Seed of Chucky,
Hmm.
where he gets melted. His face gets melted off by the chemicals that he uses to develop the film.
Yeah, that one's so
Um,
cool.
it's just sticky and gross and wet, and I love it. And my third one, oh God, I can't pick a third.
You can't pick a third? Let's see. What about Grace Poole from the second one? You liked Grace Poole. I remember you liked that one with the copy machine.
With a copy machine, that was clever. Yeah,
Hmm.
there's something that's just outside my brain where it was a really violent death with a knife.
Really violent death with a knife.
I believe so, or I'm just making that up entirely. I did like the Grace Poole one though. That was great, where she gets killed with the copy machine. I like the creative ones. I mean, I love the bloody ones too. Like obviously the mirror in the motel that falls down on the swingers is really fun. I do like the bloody ones, but I like the ones that are just that kind of make you chuckle.
I agree with you there. I very similar. I would say my top three. I'll go in reverse order, I think. So I think my third favorite, this might be a basic response. I don't really care. Is Aunt Maggie from the first one. I just think that one, it's the kill that kicked it all off. It's Marty Maraschino, and I love her. It's just a hammer to the face and a fall to the. And I'm normally not the biggest fan of falling kills, but there's just something about that one that I enjoy. So that's probably my third favorite. My
Cool.
second favorite is from Child's Play 2. It's the factory worker with the eyes. It's just so
Oh
fun.
yeah.
Yes, it's that one's always stuck with me. I fucking love that one. It's campy, it's gory, it's unforgettable. And then my top one is Jennifer Tilly in the bathtub. I will say going into rewatching this series with you, I would not have put that on my top. My top would have been the factory worker with the eyeballs. But rewatching it, I fucking love that sequence so much. I think it's iconic. Like you said, it's shot so beautifully. The bubbles everywhere. It's just fantastic.
It's
Definitely my
just a
favorite.
great death.
Hmm.
It's really good. And it's not,
Hmm.
it's weird because here we are talking about, this slasher flick, if you will. And we just both picked a death that isn't gory.
Yeah, no. Well, and it's so interesting though, because it can be not gory, but it can still be visceral in a
Mhm.
way. It's very heightened. So heightened.
It's a great death. Good job, Jennifer Tilly.
Yes, Jennifer Tilly. Fantastic job. That's pretty much it. Donnie, what are your parting thoughts on the Chucky franchise as a whole?
I think the Chucky franchise as a whole is brilliant and has helped shape other franchises, other horror movies that have come out. I think that the series inspire series or other movies to be what they are. And it just blows my mind that this little doll, that would get this doll that murders people, which could be such a stupid idea, turned into, all these movies and then a television series. And it's this cult classic and it's critically acclaimed and people love it.
Yeah, I agree. I have so much love for this franchise for so many different reasons. I mean, entertainment value alone, it's just they're all really fun watches. I just love for me the biggest thing is, and this is why I chose to start the podcast with this franchise specifically. It's just so unapologetically fucking queer. And I appreciate and respect Don Mancini so much for not only creating this horror icon, but letting it go places that allowed the queer audience to really connect with these characters and giving space for some queer representation. And it's so wonderful to see. And Chucky is definitely on my horror Mount Rushmore. Like
Oh, yeah.
he is one of the few horror characters that I think has really gone beyond horror fans in terms of pop culture. I think a lot
Mhm.
of people who don't know horror still know Chucky, and there's no beating that. There's no denying that. There's no downplaying that. I think that's huge. And
Right.
it's just if you're listening and you haven't watched Child's Play, first off, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that you made
Right.
it this far without actually watching it. But what I will
Why are you
say
doing this?
yes. If you haven't watched it, and we say this every episode, we say this every single episode, Donnie. If you haven't watched it, fucking watch it. Binge watch it, the whole thing. Get your friends, get some drinks, take an edible. I don't care. Just watch these movies because they are so much fun, especially if you're queer. Like, I think you would really appreciate, as a queer person, watching this franchise,
Oh yeah.
especially once you get to Bride of Chucky. Bride of Chucky becomes so much fun.
There was a lot in these films that were a little bit before their time, and that's because they were willing to take the chance when it comes to queerness, and that's something that meant a lot to me when I was watching him the first time as a young queer person, and it still means a lot to me now.
Yes. Thank you, Donnie. And I just want to say, Donnie, thank you so much for being my first co host for the franchise season. It's been so wonderful having you on this show. I am so grateful for you. And I would love to have you back for another season. I know we talked about possibly doing Evil Dead. So I just keep an eye on your messages. I might hit you up sometime.
That would be amazing. And thank you so much for having me. This has been so much fun. I can't believe it took a year to do this, but it's always been a blast. So thank you so much for the invitation. I really, really have had a good time.
Of course. And you will be back.
Oh
Duh.
yeah,
Of course.
I'll be.
Yes. So Donnie, for the final time on this season of the podcast, where can our listeners find you?
You can find me on Instagram at the Donnie DONNIE, and then my last name, which is Cianciotto, CIANCIOTTO.
Yes, and all you bitches out there better follow Donnie. Please.
That's right. Please follow.
Yes. And you can find me, Crybaby, on the Instagram at Cryin in Public. That's Cryin without the G _in_ public. And then you can follow Horror Icon at Horror Icon Pod. That's WHORROR Icon Pod on Instagram and the TikTok. Oh wow, that's it. I guess I don't have the whole join us next time for this one. So
No, that's it. That's all of it.
that's all of it. So I guess cutie patooties, keep an eye out for the next season of Franchise Fridays. We'll see what movie gets covered next. And
I can't wait.
yeah, I have some ideas. So until then, cuties, don't be scared. Unless you're into that sort of thing. Bye.
Bye.